Step 2, sew down the long open edge of the bookmark using a 5/8 seam allowance. Be sure to backstitch at the beginning and the end of the seam. That is your knot and what keeps it from undoing. Remember to stop sewing when you get to a pin and remove the pin before you continue sewing. Trim off all threads as soon as you are done. As soon as we're done with that long edge, we're then going to come back and sew across the short edge, same way, making sure our back stitching crosses here to reinforce this corner. Trim all threads again. Once again, we're going to have a stitch across the short end and across the long end. So row stitching here and down across here. Okay, when we are ready to sew our bookmark, we need to double check the settings on our display. Make sure we're on a stitch 1, no stitch width, normal stitch length. And up on top, double check, make sure your tension dial is red toward the red line. So I'm going to come in here 5/8 inch. And I'm actually going to bring this forward until the back edge of my fabric lines up with the back edge of the presser foot. And then I'm going to back stitch the edge and then come forward so I've got my back stitching. Reminder, you cannot sew through pins, so once it reaches the front of the presser foot, pull it out. The presser foot will hold it steady for us. Remember to go nice, slow, even speed. Whenever you start sewing, hold on to your 2 threads to start with, and then hold the back stitch button while you want to go in reverse. Do not sew off the edge of the fabric. When you get to the edge, just stop. Let go of the back stitch and now you can go forward. Keep this edge always with your 5/8. At this end I need a back stitch as well, so I'm going to go right to the edge of the fabric but not off. And then I'm going to back stitch again. Make sure needle's up out of the fabric, lift up your presser foot, pull it out, and you can cut it on your thread cutter. And there we go. I've got one straight seam down the whole of this. I now need to cut off my thread tails before they get caught in my machine. Okay, our next step is we need to stitch across this short end as well, once again at 5/8, making sure we cross our back stitch there. It'll be easier if you start at the open end and go toward the fold. So I'm going to come in here, make sure my presser foot is on this side of that row of stitching, lined up with my 5/8. Holding on to my 2 threads, I'm going to back stitch the edge and then come forward. Go right to the edge of the fold and back stitch. Remember, back stitches only need to be about 3 to 4 stitches long and definitely less than a 1/2 inch, except for in this case we wanted it longer, so we made sure it was 5/8 of an inch. Cut off your threads again. The reason why we cut off threads is so they don't get sucked back into the machine and cause problems later. Okay. I've got it on the short side and down the whole length of my bookmark.